see.
What's up? It's your girl Key, the Tri-Terra Minister. If you're new here, hi. It's your girl Key. I'm a sugar-free reader, which means I'm never gonna, pull your leg, never gonna pitch on your leg and tell you it's gold, honey. I'm always gonna give you 100% the truth. I'm gonna give it to you, bam. So without further ado, I'm just gonna dive straight into it because I ain't gonna waste no time, honey. Today we're gonna be covering the topic: what do other people see and notice about you that you just don't see in yourself? I actually got this topic from 𝒯𝒾𝓂𝓒 University. 𝒯𝒾𝓂𝓒 Universal. Love their channel. You're gonna love it there. Shout out to him. Okay, for those of you who are watching this and you're already familiar with my channel, I do want you to bring awareness to the content creator, that I am collaborating with. Please subscribe to 𝒯𝓂𝓒𝓒 the Empress on her YouTube. Thank you so much for those of you who are continuing to support me, and those of you who are new subscribers on my channels. I love you guys. Mwah. Okay, so let's get into it. I am going to dive out your reading in a couple portions. So for you guys who choose this pal, I'm just going to say that I'm going to do it like how I'm going to organize. I don't know how she's going to do hers, but I'm going to get light and dark attributes, and I'm going to get just generally speaking, what it is, what is it that people notice about you? Not just the negative, but the good things too, just to get a full encompassing thing. Like, what is it that you're so that you may not be aware of? The good, bad, and the ugly, essentially. So we're going to start off with the good, because I don't believe in, I try not to. Let me not say I don't believe in, because I will rip the band-aid off out the gate. It's just I try not to just come out the gate with no negative shit, But if you come out, it come out. So Jehovah assist me and channel these messages. Let these messages be confident before my viewers on my path. As far as I already find out, they got a lot they want to say. So, what are the good things that people notice about my viewers who select this pal that they don't notice about themselves? What are the good things? I do think that you're quite self-aware. I will say that. They're telling me that I'll flip you're quite self-aware about who you are. But I think the good things that people notice about you is I think that you have a competitive spirit. And when challenged, people might, your parents specifically, I will say this, your parents, their style of love could be tough love, because they know if they tell you that you can't do something, that you're going to be able to do it and conquer it. You just have that personality, like that that archetype, like the underdog that always wins. You're definitely the tortoise that always wins the race, is what people will say about you. Slow and steady for sure, and you're definitely something about playing the long game. And you're also, people would say that you're mature. Okay, because we do have the Five of Swords here, and what this looks like to me, I would say this is talks about competition and things of that nature. So I would say that people feel like that you, some of you guys, you can compete. So some of you guys, or some people can't compete with their compare really, but it just feels like that you can compete with the best of them. So something about the work that you produce is quality. Something about the way you present yourself is quality, top tier, very demure, very mindful, very considerate, top tier. You understand what I'm saying? It's giving what it needs to give. You understand? I feel like what people notice about you that you don't notice about yourself, some of you guys, people notice that you're intellectual off rip upon meeting you. You're very well read, very well spoken is what people will say about you. They notice that about you, and that you're very creative. You're very creative and eccentric, okay? Out the box. And it's not like before you even speak to people, some people don't even have to open their words. Something about your image, the way you present yourself, like the way you look is striking, okay? You're strikingly beautiful. You're very attractive to people. That's what people tell you. The Ace of Wands talks about the physicality of things. Either the things that you physically bring into this world, you create. Could be your children. It could be that you create beautiful children. People notice about you. People do say that you have great genes, okay? Great gifts, okay? Great talent, okay? The Ace of Wands talks about you being inspiration, so people could notice about you that you may not be aware of, or maybe just not to the way other people do, is that you can inspire anyone, okay? You're very inspirational, okay? At the scale you are now, some of you guys feel like this is something that you have to attain, or you want to be these things, and you're currently someone's inspiration, okay? You're currently living someone's dream. You currently have someone's dream body. You currently have someone's like ideal, like you're so talented. Some people would say that you're very gifted spiritually, okay? Very tapped in. Some of you guys know that you have spiritual gifts, but people would say that you, like, it's creepy. Like, it's creepy how accurate you are. Like, you have no idea, like, how spot on this should be, you know? With the Ace of Wands. I would also say you probably have people, like, even if you don't have a lot of subscribers or followers, you definitely have, like people around the world who watch you. And if you do, you inspire people around the world. Or like your world, people take the things that you say to them, like, or people, like even your teachers, people that taught you when you was a kid, they still think about you and still bring you up to this day. You leave a lasting impression on people. And with the Justice card, you are a lot of people's karma, good and bad, okay? You come into people's life at the right time, okay? I also want to say that the good things about you, people would say that you're quite lucky. People would say something that you don't know about yourself is that things always seem to work out for you, okay? Some of you guys, this could also be like an energy surrounding you. Always seem to gossip on anybody who hurts you. Like, it's inevitable, you know? Like, why are you guys gagging? You know, I bring it to you every ball. Like, don't play. You understand what I'm saying? That's what it's giving, you know? The good things that people knows about you. Something about you thinking out the box. Yeah, like, you're very intellectual, very smart, you're very creative. And I think people think that you're funny. You're very funny. And people don't like the things that you think are funny. Like, your humor is very unique to you, okay? I think people think that you, like, something about you, like, people probably say that you be tripping. Like, when you be left, it's like, you tripping. Like, you just say the first thing come to your mind, but you're so just, you're eccentric. You're very eccentric. People love that about you. The signs that I'm getting here could potentially be your signs. Do not have to be, but just as an anchor for who it resonates for. You could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay? Strong Libra energy, strong Aries energy, strong Aquarius energy on the table, especially. Okay? So, I would say that people also feel like that you have really nice hair. People will definitely talk about your hair a lot, about the way that you look good in any color. Some of you guys look really good in light complected hair, okay? Like blonde, or that you, people would say that you can pull off any hairstyle or really look. Some people would say that your style of dress, it's very ignorant, okay? But people would say, regardless of your race, people say that you dress like a white girl. Or regardless of your race, like if you're a male, people say that you're just like a white boy regardless of your race. So you could be black and they can say that you have a white boy swag. So you probably wear like a lot of polos and stuff like that. because they're showing me like a country club type look, you know. If you guys are feminines, I feel that you you may have like a fall girl aesthetic. You just have a very, or you might have like a. I'm also seeing like how Nicki Minaj, when she first came out, how she was a 𝒮𝒾𝓂𝓒 𝒮𝓃𝓂𝓅𝓈, and she kind of gave us like true like pop fashion. Like she really inspired fashion in so many ways. She in her own way, okay, in her own unique way, because nobody was doing it like how she was doing it, you know. And she's paved the way for so many young actors and actresses and people to be, and black women specifically, to be animated in that industry, in fashion. Like, it's just like something like exactly like that. You could be very fashionable as well. Okay, it feels like that you paved the way for a lot of things. There's a lot about that. And there's, because this is literally coming out of nowhere. This is paving the way. You put a paved way for people to do things. It could be that you're a sibling, and you could have been a sibling that took the brunt of all the abuse, but you paved the way for your parents to have a better understanding for things. It could be on a broader scale, too, because people that look like you observe you, and they're able to learn things. If you're paving the way for maybe that shy girl at your job, she learned how to speak up for herself because she saw you speak up for yourself. You know, it could be something like that. You definitely inspire people in a big capacity, and you leave a lasting impression on people. And something about your looks, you're very strikingly beautiful and fashionable and very eccentric and unique. People love that about you. People also find you to be someone that could fight. Okay, there's something about and also you know how to go off on people. There's something about, they're showing me Tia Kemp.
Sister lots for nigga lots. Clean your pussy ass motherfucking glasses. And I'm gonna call Gillette. I'm calling Gillette the razor people to get them.
When you call them, bitch, you bet you call somebody to do your
I'm calling Mr. Magic Powder. You got that face, noodle booty, pussy
like
face.
Goddamn,
tell your ugly cantaloupe face
you
ass
ugly
up.
ass.
You look like a motherfucking orange when you peel it. All that white shit. You better stop burning your motherfucking face up, bitch. That neck is on fire. You charcoal match like looking ass brisket back. Let me tell your bad body ass something, botch BBL hippo shaped motherfucker. You look like you got on a wetsuit that you scuba dive in. You ugly smeared face, white walls, black chocolate, Pirelli tire skin looking motherfucker. You, I ain't the play with. You wanna be me, don't you, bitch? Want to be me? Charles, don't you run, boy. Get your bloody booty ass over here, Charleston.
So in spite of all these things, like, you're so balanced. Like, it's not, the Five of Swords lets me know that it's not all sweet with you, but people love that about you. Like, you have balance. Like, because I feel like when we get into these shadow aspects, I feel like they're finna tell me like that you got a gutter side, and I love that so much for you. Go for you. Good for you. I can't say go pal, whatever, because I don't know which pal you're gonna be. So but I just feel yeah, people feel like you're very smart. Some people can feel like that you're like an alien. Some people can feel like that you have an alien look. Like, it's not bad. It's like a beautiful look, like Rihanna, you know, or Naomi Campbell, Doja Cat, you know. Who else? Zendaya, she looks like a sexy alien. Stuff like that, you know. People can feel like you have a very alien-esque, like, perfect beauty. Like, you're just yeah, like I said, so demure, so mindful, so considerate. It gives what it's supposed to give. So we're gonna get into like the tea. I actually have a deck that's called like, what's the tea? But I'm gonna do shadow aspects first before we dig from that deck, because I feel like the tea is just gonna clarify things. So it makes sense. We're going to pull from a different deck to pull for your shadow aspects, okay? What are the shadow aspects that people notice about how whoever, about my viewers, that they don't notice about themselves? What are some things about my viewers that they don't notice about themselves that are some shadow aspects? You could be indecisive. Well, and impulsive at the same time. I say it's indecisive, and then the Chariot came out. People could also feel like that you have a tendency to go hard for the wrong people. Like, people could feel like what you don't know about yourself, you tend to be a little bit naive, and you be going hard, chasing out the people that would like betray you in the end. Maybe blind loyalty, you know? You have blind loyalty. They could also say, yeah, like you're naive. Yeah, it's like an energy about being naive. It's probably easy to get information out of you if they talk to you good enough, or talk to you nice enough, or be nice enough to you. Some people could take advantage of you easily because maybe you just because you're not a bad person, so you don't go into things assuming the worst. And not that you should, but it just some people feel like that you're very naive, like you got your head in the clouds a little bit, okay, and they notice that about you. This is what they feel like they notice about you, okay. We'll see the T in a second. Okay. What are some shadow aspects that people feel like they notice about 𝒮𝓂𝓒 that 𝒮𝓂𝓒 doesn't notice about themselves? Some people feel like that you are very some people feel like that you're a little bit of a Debbie Downer, just a little bit. Maybe self-loathing. Some people could feel like that you're dramatic. But it feels like that you've been through a lot of bad things. But it could also be like, because the Three of Swords is not a dramatic energy, but I feel like people might assume this way because you probably have a really bad, like I'm hearing, I'm not just a bitch, I'm a bitch for the backstory. It feels like for you guys, like, it's very hard to come and say, oh, so-and-so, you know, if you're my subscribers, I call them my baby K's. Like, baby K, oh my gosh, like, I want to tell some baby K they're being a bitch, but if I do, I'll be wrong because baby K is like grieving and baby K has all this shit going on, so I can't say anything to baby K because if I say something to them, they have all this shit going on. Like, I will look like a bitch or something like that. Like, something about it, it's hard to like you can't say anything to you, or you can't really like. It's like a vibe of like, yeah, like. It's like if I say something about, you know, to baby K, or I say something to them, they gonna trip, or I'm gonna look like a bad person. You know? Confirmation, you know? It's like, I don't want to give an example because it's gonna sound fucked up, but it's like, okay, boom. It's like working with somebody that's an elder, and they've been on a job for a long time, and everybody's trained this person. They've been in the training program for like a long time. Normally people be in a training program for a month, right? But let's say this person has been in a training program for 6 months, and it's somebody that's during a rush. You have to stop what you're doing all the time to help this person. Let's just say you work at Starbucks, for example, because I had somebody that was like this before. When I worked at Chick-fil-A in high school, her name was Miss Peggy, and she still works up there, girl. And she's so sweet, but she moves so slow, and she needed so much instruction. And it took so long for her to get the basic things. And all it was just very simple things, like, you know, and she was just, it was clear that it was a shame. I used to always feel like I'm irritated working with her because I feel like I can't do my job because I'm getting in trouble because I'm having to work for 2 people when really we already should have more people in here. And I was just irritated, but at the same time I felt like it was a shame that she was working. Like, she shouldn't have had to work in her late age because she was like 75. Miss Peggy was like old, you know? But if I had said like, bro, like, you don't even need to be working, like, oh my God, like, you're getting on my nerves, or like, I don't like having to explain myself, I don't like having to do this so much. If I would have said that, then I would have looked like I was ageist or something like that. But no, it really was an inconvenience during a rush. Her asking very simple stuff, like, or asking for help because she's too tired to walk across the fucking store and fill up this customer's drink when she offered them a refill. And I'm doing other shit, you know, like, it's stuff like that about like what people would say about you. It's like, as an example, I know that was like a long-winded story, but people would say something about you, like, in this instance, you would be Miss Peggy, like, yes, it's true, like, Miss Peggy, truthfully, she's an elder, I should be graciously doing whatever, but unfortunately 2 things can exist at once. Like, I'm just irritated at the same time. Like, people could feel like your problems outweigh their problems because it's like people can't do the trauma Olympics with you because you just, I'm heard it all before, just seen it all, done it all. So if you have kids, your kids could probably feel like that you are very strict because you kind of, it's like, I've been through worse, you know, I've encountered worse, I know about worse, I you know, stuff like that. So it's kind of energy of like, perhaps that you are a little bit dismissive of other people's issues, or the people who don't feel like they can share their issues with you, or that they can vent to you or share their problems with you, simply because, like, yeah, it just feels like that you just have enough on your plate or enough going on, or you just don't be trying to hear that shit. You probably a no excuses type of person. What are some shadow aspects that people notice about them that they don't notice about themselves? You can be dismissive. You can be very anxious, and you can like stop. Like you can like people could be wanting to do things with you, but you can count yourself out of things before anybody else does. Like you could be somebody that's like, oh, I would have said, like, people could get annoyed because maybe you think for them. It's like, well, I didn't tell you how I felt because I knew you was gonna get mad. It's like I wasn't gonna do any of that. I wasn't gonna react that way. You're just overthinking. You're a huge, like, you're always in your head, like all the time. You're always in your head, like, and then too, like, you cut yourself off at the knees, like you just stop. You discourage yourself from doing things. There's a lot of things that you're capable of doing. You're very talented, but you don't see your own worth. What's the most annoying thing about you is that you're the person with all the talents and the gifts. You're the person with the most star quality, complaining like you don't know how to get to the top when you're the most equipped to be whatever you want to be. It's what people will perceive it to. So it kind of comes across as self-loathing, but you have imposter syndrome. Is what it's. I'm not a doctor, but this is what it's presenting itself as to me in the cards. Is what people would notice about you. Anything else? They could also see that you're black and white. Like it's either you're with me or you're against me. Like if you probably the type of person when you have disagreements with people, they automatically offer your enemy. Period. Like fuck you. Like it's that type of shit. Like you can have like a very hot and cold type of energy. You could also, when you're going through shit, you could be kind of short with people. You know. People could feel like that you think that the world revolves around you. You can kind of be a little bit pointed in with your perspectives, and it could be a little bit hard for you to look outside of yourself for what's going on. What people can notice about you that you don't notice about yourself, essentially, is that perhaps it's hard for you to think. Perhaps it's hard for you to notice other people's perspective. You could be a little bit selfish. Is what I want to say, but I don't think that you're a selfish person in your actions. It just feels like emotionally you could be putting yourself through a lot of turmoil by assuming a lot of things that are not true or not communicating as effectively as you could, or being like, I don't know, or assuming like, I don't know. You could be a Scorpio, you could be a Virgo, you could be an Aries, you could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, you could be a Leo, you could be a Cancer watching this battle, or Taurus. It just feels like you read too deep into things because you've been hurt, you're scorned, and I think that people understand this about you based off what you've been through. It makes sense for you to be a certain type of way. Like it makes sense if you went to war for you to have PTSD. However, in lieu of having these things, there are some side effects of that experience that come with it that people accept because they love you. However, it does make it inconvenient or stressful because they know that if you could change it, you would. It's not a selfish thing, meaning you're a selfish person in entirety. It just feels like this thing in itself is a selfish trait, you know, for instance. So perhaps it is difficult for you to empathize with people who are dealing with like certain things, like certain, I don't know. Somebody who's never been poor or homeless before might lack empathy for a person that's on the street. They might assume that if you're on the street, you deserve to be there, you know? And people might understand that may be the way you are. You might have pointed opinions, so that may be what it is. It might be judgmental, but it might be with the right reason. Maybe you worked really, really hard to be to where you are. Maybe perhaps you are almost homeless, but you fought tooth and nail to be where you are. So you feel like you're a no excuses type of person, you know. And I don't agree with that perspective, but that's maybe how that could be somebody's perspective. Or maybe it's like, oh, I went to the war and I fought for my life. I put my life on the line for this country, like. I can't respect someone who doesn't want to get a job. It could be how someone could feel, you know, when it could be a different experience, but people could feel like they can't say anything to you because maybe you're not open to hearing other people's perspective. You can be very one-sided, okay, is what I want to say. Okay, let me get some more cards from the T deck. What is it that people notice about them that they don't notice about themselves? You have a very low tolerance for fuck shit, and I think that you call people out fairly easily, like when they think that when shit is sweet. You don't let people get a chance to carry out no schemes or bullshit. You get the fuck out of Dodge. Some of you guys, you like run. Like you could be a ghoster in relationships because it's like I've seen the red flags. I'm not staying for anymore. This is not Six Flags. I'm disinterested. That bitch don't even leave the look crimson red. Bitch, it can be burgundy. It can be magenta around this hoe. It's too close for me. I'm getting the fuck away from you. Getting the hell out of Dodge. I don't need no parts of this shit is what I'm kind of picking up on for you guys. It's just kind of looking like You guys, it just feel like you're no nonsense. You're very, you can be very ambitious, because this is the athlete here, you know. And it says play it out, like you have discipline. People feel like you have a lot of discipline. Okay, a lot of ambition. What is it that people notice about Pile 1? Well, not Pile 1, but whoever this pile is. Whatever pile this is, what do the people notice about them that they don't notice about themselves? You could be somebody that's a little bit, you could be a little bit prying. You could be also someone that maybe you're just intuitive and psychic. So maybe you just know things about people that people don't want you to know. And it could be, people can feel like they're violated in a sense. But I can also feel like that you're someone that may ask personal questions. You could be open book, so maybe you over ask questions that people don't want to share with you. So you could be a little bit like too close, a little bit clingy. Maybe you don't know, maybe your boundaries suck. Maybe you don't know when to like stop asking certain questions, you know?
Yo, DJ Smasher.
Yeah. You could also be someone who tends to always look in like at people, like look at people's flaws. You can pick people apart, and that can make people feel away. You know, people feel like this, understandably, because of what you've been through and who you are. You do this as a protective measure, but people feel like that it's kind of unfair that you pick them apart like that, and maybe you don't have that same microscope upon yourself, is what people would say. You know, with bankrupt showing up, this is showing up as someone that maybe you lack financial responsibility. People could feel like, oh my gosh, baby K, they spend their money frivolously. They act like they ain't in the situation they in. Like, did they forget where they was? Did they forget that they got bills past due? Did they forget that they got debt that's gonna that debt gonna come up with them? Did they forget that? Did they forget all that's gonna pinch up with them? Is what they would say. People feel like your lifestyle is too expensive for your income that you're bringing in, and perhaps it is. Okay, but what does that have to do with them? For you do not notice them this, and for them to notice it, it's either like maybe if you're in a really bad situation and you really need to bring awareness to it, or there's an energy of perhaps you're so blessed and highly favored. It's like regardless of what it looked like, I always my gratitude always outweighs my greed. So no, I don't notice no material shit. You know, we have creativity. People notice that people copy off of you, or that you inspire others. People notice that you set trends. Okay. People also notice that you create. Like you could be like protesting. Like you could be like an activist. Okay, of some sort. People also know if you're in a relationship or if you're romantically involved with somebody. People know that this person's involved with other people and they're dealing with you. Okay. People know that this third party knows about you as well. And that people know what people knows about you, that you don't know about you, is that you're a little bit nonchalant. You're more nonchalant, and you don't come across as more like, if you feel like that people feel like that you're a little bit guarded. If you feel like you be too sensitive, people are too vulnerable, and you overthink about oversharing, the contrary is actually true. You actually don't. People really don't know what you got going on for real. You know. They only look at you as like this good thing, you know, like celebrities, like only the good images, the light, you know. You have fans too. People be really obsessed with you. Okay, you're very trendy. That's what you don't notice about yourself that other people notice about you. So we're gonna pull some final remarks, and then we're gonna put this reading to a close. Okay. What do people notice about them that they don't notice about themselves? Anything else? Final remarks? I told you guys, you are lucky. Yes, and this is very biblical here. You've been through situations that should have killed you and overcame them. You're a survivor, not a victim. You're very blessed. People can see the anointing over your life. And you may be privy to this, but not the way other people can see it. It's like a light. You might glow. People can physically see glow off of you. People know that you're a star. People know that you're unique and that you're gifted spiritually. People know that you don't need them. People know that you have the answers within yourself. People know that you're a very peaceful person. People know that you don't do drama and bullshit. And people know that you're not the problem a lot of the time. So people could be gaslighting you a lot. People know that you're not. People that know that you're unproblematic, essentially. People know that people that you left in the past, they know that you don't need to come back to them. People that you walked away from, they know that you deserve better. people know that you're giving and that you will give until you don't have any more, and that a lot of people will take advantage of you. A lot of people are protective over you because they know that you're very considerate and very generous at the expense of yourself oftentimes. So this will be your reading. I love you guys, to the moon and back and around the whole solar system. Again, it's your girl 𝒮𝓂𝓒𝓒 Minister. My tag is up there on Instagram. I'm X3T Minister on Instagram and TikTok. And if you guys want to check me out on Patreon, I do offer a free trial if you want to just test me out before go all into it. If you're interested in that. So yeah, connect with your girl. I do offer personal readings if you guys want that. The link is below in the description box. If you're interested, my YouTube is 𝒮𝓂𝓒𝓒 Minister. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Oh my God! Wow!
Oh wow!
Alright, so if you chose this pile, you ate your pile. My name is Kia, and I'm gonna be giving y'all reading. Okay, so what do others see in you or about you that you don't see about yourself? So I did take a minute to connect with y'all energy and y'all reading off camera. So let's get to it. So some stuff that I already pre-channeled was just keywords that we're gonna go back to. Is echo, in the room even when you're not in the room, piece of you, following you, allowing, capable, independent, dependent, overboard, loud or voiceful, big energy when you want to be or when you decide to be. So pre-messages, these are the pre-messages. So I feel like with echo, I feel like what others see in you or about you that you don't see about yourself is that like is that a lot of people repeat what you say. Like somebody can hear you say that or can notice a certain way that you do something that other people start to also pick up. And but I also feel like this could also be within a work environment or even at school. I just heard but I feel like people don't give you credit for it though. This could also be like in the way that you wear your hair or the way that you present yourself. Like if there's a certain way that you wear your uniform or wear your clothes, like people may take note that other people are starting to do that same thing. Or there's a certain way that you say something or a certain information that you may know and you may have said before or you constantly say, or like a certain saying that you say that people know that is particularly to you. Like they may catch other people saying that too, and it's just like, but the other person don't, or the other people don't give credit to you. Like these same people may like discredit you or nitpick at other things about you or even those same things, but they turn around and do those same things. This also is seeing me. This could also be either a co-worker or colleague or like a classmate or whatever that like take notice of it. Like y'all have fans that like y'all, but they act like they don't. Or they act like you such a bad person, but they admire you. Or they act like you be doing this and you be doing that, but they like you, but they have a hard time admitting that they like you, if that makes any sense. This may be something that you may kind of already be aware of, or like maybe somebody told you or hinted towards telling you. If you had a conversation with somebody that you work with, or a boss, or even a colleague or a coworker, however way, or classmate, like they may have talked to you about this. Maybe be a sibling. But yeah, and also again, which goes with you're in the room even when you're not in the room. Like there's just also like, again, like people taking on your lingo or like a piece of you while you're not there, or like your name constantly being brought up even when you're not there that day, or you're not around, like, or people really like you, especially in a certain workplace. Like people really like you. You may feel like they don't, but like people can't stop talking about you. Which goes to like you're in the room even when you're not in the room. I feel like this annoys someone too. Like there may be somebody that you work with or work around or in the same environment with, and like your name constantly gets brought up when you're not there, and it irks them, because most of the time people are not even saying, they're not necessarily saying bad things about you. They're just like reminiscing on a moment with you, or like if they trying to be a little like shady, like it just shows their admiration for you, and this may really irk somebody in your, or make somebody feel like a little jealous in your environment because you get the attention that they don't get, or else they feel like you get, like you're more likable than them, and maybe they've been there longer than you, or maybe they have more experience than you, but you're kind of like, you're still like able to do just as good as them or even better than them, or have a better impact on people than they are. Or like maybe they can also like kind of like your natural capabilities they may kind of like hate on, or like downplay. Okay. So I also picked up on allowing. So I feel like people may feel like there are times they don't feel like you are a pushover, but sometimes some people may feel like you allow people to mistreat you. But I also feel like there could be somebody that kind of like really be analyzing you, like reading the fuck out of you. Like they may be like, this day this person is a little bit less tense or less reactive, like, or they're a little bit less confident today, so let me play on that, and they may pick at you on those days compared to the days where they feel like you may cuss their ass out. Like somebody really, they know when to or try you, or they feel like you or what days you will be more likely to allow them to say things. I also feel like y'all are my people that may be like, you can be a hothead, but you may also be pretty good at like choosing your battles wisely. Or maybe you're starting to get into that, like maybe you could have been very reactive and like, but you know that that's not like beneficial to you or nobody in the situation. So you're learning to be more professional, or more like just evenly tempered, to where things don't bother you. But if somebody really is trying you, you will like, I feel like the almost like people know like, okay, we can't really try this pal, but this day they look a little, it almost like it's giving me an example of like, you know, like with animals, like say for instance, you know, animals in the wild or whatever, there's a lion or something and it's injured at the moment compared to when it wasn't injured, whoever is their opposing force, like the day they're not injured, like this lion is like, you can't fuck with this lion, you go to this lion, you know you're gonna get beat up. But once they injured, you're like, oh, let me just poke this lion's injury, like, you know, it's only going to make them weaker this day. Like somebody, y'all, there's somebody that's really like analyzing you and like kind of like keeping up when, like when you're feeling more confident one day to when you're not, or when you like look like you're going through it mentally. That's one thing I'm saying too. And there's a little if there's a certain work environment that you're in, just be aware of that. And also, like, the biggest thing I can say is work on your confidence and try to work on your mindset before you go into that place. But like, also just be aware of them. That's diabolical. That's crazy. Okay, that's very crazy. There's somebody, but I do feel that energy, like somebody really be like, they're good at reading people, but in a negative, nasty way. This can even be, I feel like this could be a coworker, a boss, or somebody that's like in your vicinity that you may work with this person every day. So be aware of that. Also, you may have to check this person, or they can be coming up for you, or like you may even decide like, okay, I'm gonna check this person, but I'm gonna do it professionally, because if I check them in the way that I want to check them, I may get fired. But I'm gonna, you know, check them in a professional manner or whatever. So that's what I'm getting here. Okay, let's just start going to the cards too, because I pre-pulled cards. I'm gonna show y'all the cards, and then we're gonna finish the pre-messages. So it probably just even be a damn reading. Like, everything that I already channeled probably most likely is going to go with these cards, because I pulled these cards before I like did some automatic writing. So first, upright. Let's see, upright. What do others see about this pile that they don't see? Upright, upright, reverse, upright, 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 reverse, upright, upright. Okay, so this also can be like how people just, you know, view you. This can also be stuff that I feel like you already know about yourself, but people are starting to notice about you the more they're around you. Say for instance, you just got in a new environment, and at first, you know, when you first get in the environment, people have these misconceptions about you, or like they perceive you in a certain way, even if that's not necessarily you. But the more they're around you, they get a better feel of who you are. And I feel like this is what this is. Like, you could have, you know, you can be starting to become not new in a environment when you click on this video, or like, what is the work, class, school, whatever. Or, you know, the more that you share about yourself, the more people get a better feel of you. So I feel like what they are starting to notice or seeing you while looking at this card is that you can be let me see, reverse. Did I tell y'all what cards it was? So we got the King of Cups upright, we have the Six of Wands reverse, we have the Nine of Wands upright, the Six of Pentacles upright, the Queen of Pentacles upright, and the Seven of Wands upright, along with the Five of Swords upright and the Ace of Swords upright. So I got here is that people see you as a very mature, level-headed person, but people do also see like that you are also not afraid to make mistakes, or if you could have been a person that beat yourself up when you make a mistake, you became a person that's not like that. Or like you, people actually do see you as level-headed or like emotionally mature. Now with the Six of Wands reverse, in certain situations, people may feel like you're more sensitive. You're sensitive to certain topics or certain things, or like they can feel when there's, like, you know how you non-verbally set an environment, like there's certain things that you won't talk about, certain things that you will not speak on, that they can sense. Or like there may be sometimes they say something to you and they can just tell by your body language they're like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that. So they may like do certain things to kind of like, if they don't apologize for what they do, like I feel like your energy can be intimidating to where you don't have to say anything. Like they know that they fucked up and they know that they hurt you just from like the way that you treat them after. Like you just may be like, bitch, I'm just not gonna talk to you no more throughout this day, or just like you may be cold towards them. There's something I see, they may sense that you're like passive aggressive, but also like confident in a way. Hopefully that makes sense. I feel like the way that you are passive aggressive still gets the message across, because you know, I feel like people like to think like when you are passive aggressive, it doesn't really like do anything, but I feel like it does. It made me think of this video I was watching. I know it's like a video that's going all across like social media with this girl. She pushed the fucking the shopping cart into the police car. I don't know if it's real or not, but it's giving me a vibe like that. She pushed the cart into the police car, and then she locked herself in the car. So because he was telling her to get out, but she wouldn't. She locked herself in the car, and he ended up handcuffing the cart to her car. And it was kind of passive aggressive, but it's still, you know, he still got his flick back. You know, it's giving me something like that. I also feel like you're giving, or people feel safe in your energy, even if they feel like they shouldn't be. Like say if you talk to a manager or something and they're sharing certain things, they're like, oh shit, I probably shouldn't be sharing this certain thing around this certain person because they are in a lower position than me, but like they just feel like safe in your energy. Like you're not gonna be messy or like, you know, spread things around. It's also giving me that. I also feel like people just think that you're very caring, because I wasn't even about to say that. I was gonna say giving, or like very good at what you do, but caring, like nature caring. Sound like I'm saying caring and like dependable in that way. I also feel like this feels like a work environment or in a setting where you do work, whether it's like an extracurricular activity or just like an actual job where you making money at. But I feel like in a way to compare you to like other people in the environment, so it's giving me like, yep, this pile is not necessarily competitive, or like you don't give off a jealous spirit. Like you give off like actually genuinely being happy for the next person if they do something right, or like you're empowering in a way to your colleagues or people around you. But you are not afraid to say the truth, even if it's something that may cause conflict. And I feel like that's something that people like about you. But I feel like the biggest thing is like, if you feel like you're not liked in a certain environment, especially to where there's an environment where you have to do work, whether you get paid for it or not, internship or however way, or extracurricular activity or like an actual job, I feel like you actually are liked, or your energy is appreciated. But in the crazy kind of toxic way. But or like if you think that people don't see you, they do. Or if you think people don't see you switching up your energy with them when they acting kind of dumb, they do. And these are just extra messages that I took notes. So like if you are loud and voiceful, like people notice that. They also notice when you like take back your energy. The take on you is that you have a big energy, but you are selective with who you share that energy with. Or let's see that. Or you have your days, they would say. Like there's some days they may come in here and talk and laugh and joke, and then some days they don't say nothing. That's kind of what I'm getting here. Also, something I feel like people may feel like you're very strong and you take a lot. Like you may also be like somewhat of a target of like, again, while I was speaking in the beginning, like someone like picks on the days where you're not that confident and like eat that up. You know, but when you are, like, they know you're gonna react, they won't say anything. They're not gonna say anything, which is weird. Like if you feel like you've been getting bullied by a manager or a certain coworker, or like they try to bully you, or they make things harder for you, like people are noticing that. Even the people that are higher up than them are noticing that. So I also feel like this person, they're gonna get their karma soon, I would say. So, but thank you so much for allowing me to read y'all energy. Please be sure to like and subscribe to Miss Kai's channel. Again, I'm Kia. Y'all can also go to my channel to look at the other video for this, which is what's the tea on your bullies. After you're done with this video, if you haven't chosen the other pal, again, make sure you like and subscribe to her channel and like this video. And thank you so much again for allowing me to read y'all. I will see y'all maybe if y'all decide to come to my channel. And peace.
Well, look how she ate that.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so if you chose this pal, you're at your pal. So let's get into it. So I did pre-shuffle and I got cards. These are the cards that came out. Oh, also, I'm Kia. I'm trying to see if I should like introduce myself. I'm Kia. The name of my channel is Kia P, the spiritual hub, and I'm happy to be here. But let's get it. So the first card is the Temperance card. The second card is the Devil card. We have the Hermit, the Sun, the Four of Pentacles, the Strength card reverse, and the Moon card reverse. Have a lot of major arcana, a lot. So what do people see in you that you don't see about yourself? So first off, we have the Temperance and the Devil card beside each other, and I had to really look at it. I was like, it's like a light and a dark side here, because you know this is the angel, her red wings, and then you have the devil. So I'm getting two messages with that. Give me 1 second. So I feel like people feel like there are two sides to you. There's this angelic side, you're tempered and balanced, and then there's this side to where you don't want to bring out of y'all. Because I feel like people straight off the bat, I don't know if y'all have like a more, y'all energy may be a little bit more fierce or a little bit more aggressive, or like you, like people can tell that you mean business, but you're also very sweet. Like it's kind of similar to Power One, but not quite. I feel like Power One has a little bit more of a like softer, more like emotional besides some like to the where they like wear their heart on their sleeves. What not pal one, shoot, the other pal that I did. Well, this pal has like a more tougher exterior to where like y'all probably don't really show y'all emotions like that, or like y'all a little bit more, I don't want to say closed off, but like in terms of emotions, like you're not always telling people like how you feel about stuff or what you know into. Like you don't really expose or like let people know about it unless they're really close to you, or like they really mean something to you. People may view y'all to be a little bit more like, well, again, I do feel like having two sides to you. Like this Paul is an angel, but like you do not want to see that more darker side of them. And if you thought people can't see this, like people can see this. Like it's a lot of duality with y'all, because I see like we have the Temperance and the Devil, then we have the Hermit and the Sun. Like people may feel like y'all do a good job at like finding a balance between being with yourself, like in the introspection mode, or like being more introverted, but also putting yourself out there. Like y'all I feel like y'all have a lot of friends or a lot of acquaintances or people that you can do stuff with, but in the same breath, like you still give time in life to yourself, you know, time to rest and like recharge. And I feel like people may notice that you do a good job at balancing it. Like even with like the Temperance card and the Devil, like it's giving me like balance. Like y'all are my more sane people. I feel like y'all kind of have a good grip on life, to where like you don't take things too seriously unless you really have to, if that makes any sense. People may view you as being strategic. I did channel some pre-messages for y'all off camera, just like things that I heard, and I wrote down like just certain words, which was reliable, free for all, you're yourself with no apologies, ambitious, people admire your work ethic. I think I said that within this reading. People may notice that you shy away from showing like your true thoughts and opinions about things out of like and it may be the opposite around, like you don't shy away from that. Like you're not afraid to be like, oh well, like, yeah, well I feel this way, you know, this is how I feel, you know, if you don't agree with that, then that's you. Something I also channeled was conflict. Like y'all may not be afraid of conflict. Y'all are my people that if you making a problem, like then it can be a problem. This was giving me people may notice like you don't shy away from conflict. If somebody have an issue, you're gonna be like, okay, and what is the issue? And you know, it's giving me that. Another thing with these major arcana cards, I feel like y'all could be having a lot of different like big major shifts going on within your energy. Also like within the way that you like handle certain situations or respond to certain things. I feel like people could be noticing like a shift in your behavior, just to like, oh, like this pal is like kind of maturing in the way that they would normally approach things. Like you may like it is giving me like you had to go through a moment where you had to find this balance and like really being able to embody that duality. Like I know I have to be, I am a good person, or I'm tempered. I can't always be on 10, like knowing knowing how to pick my battles. This is what I'm getting here. Knowing when to go out and party and when to recharge. Knowing when to be giving out love or my attention or energy, and when to reserve that. Two cards that I noticed here, the only cards that are reversed is the Strength card and the Moon card. Give me 1 second to sit with this, okay? Here's the Moon card, reverse. Okay, so again, it goes to the pre-channel messages I was getting. Like, I feel like y'all unapologetically be y'allself, no matter what it's that. Cause like in this Strength card, upright, she's basically taming. It's like she's taming this lion, but you know, would it be in reverse? That's not the case, child. It's like, girl, I'm gonna let this lion roam free, and if that bothers you, then you're just not for me. Or like, you know, then you know, it is what it is. And then with the Moon card reverse being next to it, because the moon represents like lies or like just things that are hidden. I feel like y'all don't really hide anything. Like, even though y'all don't really wear y'all emotions on y'all sleeve or nothing like that, I don't feel like y'all are like, what's the word? Y'all aren't secretive, or y'all don't really, like, what you see is what you get. And it's like you're an open book is what it's giving me, because I lost my train of thought. I was like, I just had it. But I feel like this is things that people notice about you, or what they see in you that you may not think that they see. But also, I just feel like y'all have a great balance between like the dark and the light side in you, or like knowing when to turn it on and when to kind of like be within one energy and within this other energy. But I feel like y'all, it's not even like one energy and the other energy is like they're all like, it's almost giving me like Steven Universe, like with the different, when the different crystals, like what's it called, when they like mix or come together, like they become like they become a duo that's like even more powerful or strong when you're just like those two individually. Like it's giving me that, like I don't know, I feel like y'all have that natural balance within y'all. That natural shit that natural balance within y'all self. Like y'all are I'm trying to remember the crystals, garnet and amethyst mixed together, like just that naturally. Like you don't really need another person to like make something work. Like you can kind of, like you have the power to do that yourself. Like I don't know, it's gonna be like I'm the mama and the daddy or like I'm the man and the woman, you know what I'm saying? I'm my own sugar daddy. It's giving me that type of energy. For the extra channel messages I got was reliable and free for all. So free for all is giving me like y'all can be very much like you gonna speak up, not just for yourself but for other people. Y'all use y'all voice, like you're your biggest advocate, and you also go out your way to be other people's biggest advocate. Like you don't shy away from conflict. Again, reliable as in like people can depend on you to be there for them. It's also giving me a very motherly energy, but also a good balance between your masculine and feminine energies. And I feel like those things within yourself are like your strongest suit. So don't ever feel like you doing the most or you're doing too much. Like continue to keep pouring into those things or doing that, like because I feel like people admire you, or like people, like some people are afraid to do and speak up on certain things that you speak up on, but you're not. And I feel like that's also going to be what take you places, because like I feel like in some way like you using your voice. And even if you got something that you do right now to where you use your voice and or you give commentary or however way, don't stop doing it. Even if it's going slow right now, do not stop doing it, because I feel like a lot of people really do look up to you or like enjoy whatever service that you provide. Like they look forward for you to say something, or look forward for you to like just be there, be present in it, whatever area or workplace or community this is. I feel like your presence is felt, and I feel like if you continue to like go on this whatever path this is, because I feel like, you know, y'all it's giving like, you know, healer of the community, or like a leader, like somebody being that voice for other people, or like even like influencer, or just like having your own platform. Because it's definitely giving me like businesswoman or business man vibes, like y'all being on top of y'all shit. And like also because of who you are, that's naturally within you, like it just seems like y'all born to be like a leader or someone that's like over something. Because like just from like y'all energy, not even a leader but a good leader. But I did feel like a lot of different shifts are happening within y'all energy, because y'all are taking like charge of y'all life, or y'all like your work ethic. Maybe like you getting better at like staying up to par on like certain deadlines and stuff and getting things done. I feel like that's really helping you to shift your energy and also getting a more like manifesto mode of like manifesting the things that you want. Also, I feel like y'all really benefit from like making a vision board or even working with certain crystals, because what the crystals that came to my mind when talking about oh, it's called fusion. When they fuse together, that's what it's called. But yeah, it's like y'all are a natural fusion of like different crystals or like different things that like, or you know what people use crystals for, like confidence or like, you know, balancing out or having a strong intuition, like, or just like, you know, again, like things that other people may struggle with. I feel like y'all naturally kind of can find that within yourself and like really put that into full force, or you are doing it, or you also getting into that energy. But shit, what was I saying? No, I'm sorry. But yeah, I feel like y'all will get far. And I was saying that y'all should, I feel like doing the vision board, if you haven't already, will really help you to like just ground those, whatever you want to manifest into reality. Whether you create a Pinterest vision board or like a physical vision board, or working with certain crystals that I brought up in here, which was garnet and amethyst. I feel like those two crystals specifically for the people who chose this group will really help y'all. And if you already have those crystals laying around, like pick them back up, you know, or like meditate on their energy or however. So but yeah, I was trying to see if there anything else that I needed to say for y'all. What do people see you that you don't? I also feel like y'all may naturally attract free stuff to y'all, and I also feel like this, like y'all may be a natural manifester, so that's why I'm also was getting like and like other people may see that too, like damn, this pal, y'all always get like free stuff out of nowhere. Like I don't ever get free stuff, or I don't ever win stuff. It's giving me that type of energy. Like I feel like y'all should really play into the energy, like manifesting or quantum jumping is also something I just heard that would really benefit y'all, like kind of like being able to work, because I feel like this is naturally one of your biggest strengths. Like y'all may naturally attract things to y'all, and when you do it unintentionally, just imagine how you would do if you're doing it intentionally. I also feel like sex magic may also benefit y'all as well, but or just looking more into that, but whatever floats your boat. But I'm going to end it right here. Thank you so much for allowing me to read y'all. I will see y'all, hopefully see y'all on my channel, which is 𝒮𝓂𝑒 the Spiritual Gal. No, what the freak? 𝒮𝓂𝑒 the Spiritual Hub, y'all. Forgetting my own channel name. Again, thank you so much for allowing me to read y'all. Make sure y'all like this video, and or subscribe if you hadn't already to Kai's channel. And yeah, peace.
Give her 10s. Give her 10s. Give her what she's that's one thing about me. I give 10s what 10s are due.
Oh wow. Chapter Administrator, back with another 𝒮𝓂𝓂𝓒 production. If you are new here, I'm a psychic by way of tarot, amongst many other things. Please subscribe to my channel if you are following me from my girl Kia's page. Okay, if you're new here and you follow me in another way, well, I'm just a sugar-free reader. What does that mean when I say sugar-free? It means that I ain't gonna bullshit you. So I ain't gonna waste too much time about this, because I mean it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, If you have any questions, just comment down below and I will gladly answer your questions. I respond to everybody's comment unless it's some bullshit. And really, a lot of y'all, I respond to y'all ass too. So everybody gets attention around this motherfucker. Okay, so yeah, let's just get straight to your message. Okay, honey? Okay. I'm going to divide your reading in 2 parts mainly. Specifically, I'm going to start off with the light attributes that people notice about you that you do not notice about yourself, and then I'm going to cover the topic of the darker aspects about you that you may not be aware of that are within yourself that you possess. Okay, so we're going to start off with the good before we do the bad, then we're going to kind of like do a general like spark notes type moment, you know, and just get the any more tea that might want to come out. Okay, so let's see. Starting with the good. Spirit of Jehovah, bless me as I channel these messages and these messages between authentic and for my viewers divine path. Thank you so much for blessing us. Okay, so what are the good attributes about them that people notice that they may not notice about themselves? So similarly to the other pal that I did, I would say that you are someone that breaks the mold. I would say that you're someone people would say it's pretty courageous. I think a lot of people would say that you are non-traditional. Okay, so you are definitely someone, how do I say this? Because the Hierophant is in reverse. So I look at this as somebody with the 7 of Cups in reverse too. You just probably have, you have star qualities, but I feel like a lot of people would say. There's something about you have a je ne sais quoi to where you don't have to be, you have the potential to not be a stereotype. You have the potential to be, if anybody's was going to be, like it's like if you, let's just say you were, you played sports in your youth. If anybody was going to make it pro, it would have been you, you know, if anybody was. If you, anything that you put your mind to, you're light years ahead of everyone is what people would say. Okay. With the Hierophant being present and the 7 of Cups. You may have a sunny disposition as well. Like you could have like your situation, even when you go through things, like your perspective of things is completely different than what people would. You can probably irritate people as well because you've been through things that other people probably wouldn't have been able to get through, and you don't complain about it, nor do you make it other people's problems by projecting your issues onto others. So that kind of triggers people in a good way, in a good way, because it makes them look at what they need to work on. I also feel like that you may be someone that, like you may be younger than a lot of people, but a lot of older people look at you as someone that is very mature. You may be young for your age, young for your age, but you may be more mature than what your age suggests, okay? But I feel like the way in which you share this wisdom is untraditional. Maybe it's the energy surrounding. This is like reminding me of Jesus. This is like, well, when they were asking him, like, why do you hang amongst these people? You know, so to put it simply, Jesus was around like your OnlyFans girls, your trappers, your thieves, your thugs, your scammers and shit like that. And this is like and people did what they were asking, like why are they deserving of salvation, things of that nature? Like why are you hanging amongst them? That's the type of vibe that people get about you. So I feel like that you are someone where you're not too cool for anybody. Okay, you're not too bougie for anything. Okay, you're someone I'm not gonna say not too bougie for anything, but you don't make people feel bad. You probably are someone that could act very funny, could be really funny acting, could be weird, but you're very humble is what people would say. And I think that what people perceive you to be at face value, you contradict that, but in the most pleasant way possible. I think that you're someone that feels very familiar. You could also be someone where it feels like that you treat everyone the same. You know, it doesn't, like, you probably are someone that you're not fanned out. You're not easily impressed, and people love that about you. And you're also somebody that, you just take it like as assumptions. Like, I feel like you're also someone that uplifts people. Okay, something about body positivity is significant. Okay, the 7 of Swords is upright on the bottom of the deck. People could feel like some of you guys, or people, some of you guys don't have the most perfect teeth, right? But you smile a lot, and honestly, or you have braces or something like that, and it gives people courage. There's somebody here who has fucked up teeth, that feels like, or they feel like they have fucked up teeth, but when you smile, it makes them feel confident about their smile. So let's just say you have a gap, and you're out here and you think it's something that makes you probably wear it confidently, or you're insecure about it, but it inspires other people with a gap, and it feels like something that will be perceived as unattractive to other people, but you wear it so well and so uniquely you, and it's so beautiful, and it's like a part of your personality, it's part of your unique look, and people find that to be very alluring to you. Because remember, these are the light attributes about you, things that people enjoy about you, the things that people are enthralled about when it comes to you. Okay. People like your laugh too. You're very silly. Okay, people love that about you. You're very, like, people can find you to be very goofy. Very goofy. People describe you, people like, they always laughing about something. Everything is always funny. You probably are somebody that's a good time when you party. Like, you probably cut loose when it's like when you're probably somebody that when you unwind, you're pretty fun. You're probably a good person to party with. You're probably the life of the party, is what people would say. Okay, with the Hierophant in reverse. And I think that you're somebody that can be around anybody, but you might be, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, how do I describe someone? I want to think of a celebrity that's around, like Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg be with Martha Stewart, or it's like Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart's relationship, essentially. That's like you and the people. You're both Martha Stewart, and you're both Snoop Dogg, and the same person.
Have been boiled. Here,
I never done it with a machine.
Yeah, well, it's easy. So how do you do it with a...
Yeah, we in the hood. We like,
So just peel the potatoes. You can peel that one with your fingers.
Peel it?
Or a knife.
Like peel it back?
No, this one needs to be peeled. See?
Like this?
Just take the peels off. Peel.
Like making French fries?
The skin.
We make French fries. That skin ain't good.
No, just the skin. Just the skin. Look. This. You just peel the skin off.
Oh,
see?
you want me to take the skins in off of it? My bad.
The skins in.
There it is, the tater chip wrapping.
Okay, so you have your own vocabulary. Now you are really responsible for your vocabulary, right? You are the inventor of it.
Yeah, so much.
Okay. And does everybody understand you? I mean, do your kids understand you?
No, they don't. And you know what's crazy, Martha?
What?
I don't even understand it, so that's the great part.
And people love that about you. It's like you're proof that you can be both. That duality exists, okay? You think you just fell from a coconut tree? You exist in all in which they came before you. That's what I heard. Your scent could be you can smell very good too. You can be very hygienic. People love that about you. You're very clean. So about cleanliness is like godliness. People love your eyes. Okay, you can also be someone who can have a very high, like high tolerance for things, psychedelics, or like you could be somebody that's very trippy. Like maybe you're just someone who just, again, like you're fun, you're funny, you're entertaining. People find you to be funny and entertaining. Okay, people can be around you all day and not feel bored. You're very entertaining, like things that you think about, things that you say, the way you string together sentences. People enjoy that. People like the way you talk. Okay, it could be your accent, perhaps. What are some light attributes that people love about them that they may not be aware of? Some of you guys are like, what accent? Bitch, that accent. No one you just asked that question in. I ain't got no accent. Look at you. Record yourself and listen to yourself. What you think you sound like, you don't sound like this shit. Okay.
No, we will not be coming over today.
Who the hell you think finna come over there with them damn blood roaches and them crick rats? I'm not getting in the middle of that, and I certainly ain't eating your damn food. Hell, you tell Ratatouille and Roach Kishiana I ain't coming.
What people like attributes people like about you, you're very forgiving. You're very forgiving and understanding. You're very understanding. Very compassionate and empathetic too. And you're somebody that's a loner and you understand. Okay, and people wouldn't expect you to understand, but you just get it. And you probably don't make people or force people to explain things to when they're going through stuff. You just kind of like, you provide a show to people to cry on, and you probably know exactly what people need to hear, and that's what people love about you. What is it that people love about them that people enjoy the most? Like, you know, what do people enjoy the most about them that they don't see about themselves? People they feel like that you are someone that's very healing. You have all the answers to what people feel. Like, wow, I never thought of it that way. You know what? I need to be more like you. You know? You have such a unique perspective, is what people would say. Yeah, I think yeah. I heard you tired of your nigga. You mad with your nigga. You sad with your nigga. So let me be your getaway. Hey, let me be your getaway. That's the getaway, boys. You're just so like, it's like, Calvin, take me away. You're so refreshing, so relaxing. And like a lot of people, and this may not be good for you, but it's good for somebody. Some people be in unhappy relationships and you provide them a way out. Okay, some of you guys can help victims of abuse, okay? Or you can help people see that they are in certain unhealthy patterns or relationships. Some of you guys could unintentionally, I'm hearing oops by 𝒮𝓂𝓒𝓂𝓒𝓂𝓒. So yeah, it's like some of you guys can unintentionally break up not so happy homes, but it just feels like that you just kind of show people what love is. Yeah, you know? Someone is thankful that you got them out of a negative relationship, or you show them that something could be better. You're someone like, you're the friend that teaches people that like what a real friend is, what a girl wants, what a girl needs. So if you're a lesbian, or if you're like you said, you have female friends, or if you're masculine energy, women specifically feel as though you just know how to treat them. You know how to uplift women and cater to them the way they're meant to. And you just know what to say. People feel like you're a girl's girl if you're feminine. Okay, if you're a masculine, people feel like that you're feminist, or that you're just respectful of women and people love it about you. They feel like you were raised adequately. You know? You're very mannerable. And I also feel like people feel like in testing situations, you're able to keep a cool head. You're very mature in perspective. You know, you're able to put other people, like, whereas Power One wasn't able to see other people's point of view, you may have it to a different way. Like, you might over consider what people think before you even consider your other self. I do feel like you try to find balance, but I feel like that you're just so not what people think you are. You could be mean, you could be rude, you could be funny acting, but you're the complete opposite of that. People love that about you. The fact that you could use your gifts to be destructive, but you don't. The fact that you could use your beauty to be mean and, funny acting towards people, but you don't. You could use your talent as a way to gatekeep and be mean towards people, but you don't. You know? You're very generous, and I also feel like that if your friends were in like toxic households and things, like you provided them safety and comfort, or people are in abusive relationships, whatever the case, you provide them safety and comfort when they're around you. I'm hearing nationwide is on your side. Yeah, people are in good hands when they're in company with you. You are very reassuring as well. You are also somebody that is dependable. Okay, you're very reliable. Okay. Some people could feel like that you're too good to be true as well, okay, because it's my core line card. The Page of Cups suggests that you are very imaginative. You're very daydreamy, so you're very beautiful. People love the way you do your makeup. You could be very good with your makeup and your hair. People find you to be very funny, and you're very creative. Very, very creative. And again, I said that you were the life of the party, and look, you're the life of the party for sure. You're very sweet, and people feel like that you're a lover girl or a lover boy. Very romantic. You're a lot of people's crush. You're very dreamy, okay? When you like somebody, you really know how to treat them. You're very romantic. You're just so lovable. That's just really what it is about you. It's like you have this baby pie energy. Like this baby energy, you're so adorable. You're adorable. Like, some people, like, you can have being sexy, child. I'd rather be adorable. It's like that. Like, some of you guys just have a baby face. People love that about you, and you have no idea how cute, or you're petite or something like that, but you have an adorable energy about that. If you're masculine, people just feel like that you're just so cute, so sweet, just so lovable. Whoever you are, you're just a lovable person, okay? It's like, what's not to love about them? They're so sweet, and you just kind of very intuitive, and you're able to tap into so many energies. I feel like you're able to do what I do, And with Temperance, you're very balanced, okay? You give, equal give and take, and when you're not in a position to give, you don't take people. You set boundaries with people, and even when you're wrong, you also teach people how to set boundaries with you. So you're very perspective. You're very mature, very healthy. Some of you guys are very advocates for mental health, okay? Some of you guys are therapists, but something about you is therapeutic, very healing, very healthy, okay? Something about you offering different perspective, yin and yang, very balanced is what people will describe you as. Okay? What are some shadow attributes about you that you may not be noticing about yourself though? The Six of Cups. You could be so loving and you can stay stuck in the past. You could also be someone that is very naive. Okay. You could also be a little childish to a certain degree. Okay. Maybe you're silly. You feel like as a shadow aspect, or maybe your inner child is triggered. If people could tell that. Clarify the Six of Cups, because that doesn't feel like a negative thing. I feel like that people just like you. The Six of Cups suggests that maybe like you could be this way with everybody. You could be very giving and loving towards everybody, you know. Clarify the Six of Cups is a shadow attribute. Okay, we have the Seven of Swords and the Two of Swords. And we also have the Ace of Swords as well. Okay, on the bottom of the deck, we have the Hierophant again. So, bitch, you're a big deal, okay? You're very, very wise, okay? But I want to say that for a lot of you guys, you had a very tumultuous upbringing. And it shows sometimes. Like, sometimes your childhood trauma comes out to, like, show its head. And it's like, ew, you know? For a lot of you guys, you have this indoctrination because people, when you grew up, it was like never good enough, never enough. Okay, so your shadow attribute is that you're constantly trying to prove yourself. People see that, and it's like you're the Wheel of Fortune. Like you don't have anything to. Yeah, the Knight of Swords. Like you don't have to prove anything to anybody. You know, you don't have to. It feels like that people feel like you have a chip on your shoulder from youth. And your childhood trauma is showing, but people feel as though like you could do anything. You could be anything you want to be, you know. The Six of Cups talks about you kind of maybe you spend too much time thinking about your ideas as opposed to manifesting them and getting your ideas off the ground, you know. Maybe you give your ideas away to a lot of people. You could also be very generous to people who don't mean you any good. Criminals, you're easy to finesse to a certain degree, you know. That's a criminal, you know. Some people could be saying that your shadow attributes is that you have a love or a strong tie for somebody that's the exact opposite of you. That looks like this person, but it's like the opposite. Or it could be that you have that energy. Like some of you guys could be, and just as sweet as you can be just twice as evil. Maybe when you get mad, like you could do things, you could take things to the extreme, and it don't matter for family. It don't matter if we were husband, wife. It doesn't matter best friend, auntie, uncle, cousin, infant, man, woman, or child. Anyone can get it around this motherfucker. Nobody's safe. You know, she got this sword up between. It's whatever. When it's with you, the beef is up and stuck up. You hold grudges, okay? That's your shadow attribute that people knows about you. It's like you don't budge. You're very stubborn and you stand on business, but it be like to the point to where it's like even you'll die on a certain hill, and maybe to the point to where you will not even apologize, even when like.
I am going to remind you in advance that I am very sorry and I apologize for the inconvenience of me not giving up.
Yeah, it's just you're very prideful is what I would say. People notice that about you. You're a very prideful person. And you could also be a little bit assertive and maybe a little bit cutting with your words without realizing it. I think you're a little bit more blunt, but you're so cute. You're so cute. Like I told everyone, very mindful, very demure, very cute, considerate. You know, but I don't think you mean any harm, but your words can come across a little bit like, you know, sometimes. I mean, did I do that? That's what this Two of Swords gives me, you know? You can be a little bit, like I said, indecisive. You could also be someone that has a hard time making a move. Maybe when you like somebody, you started acting mean. That's your shadow attribute. Like, when you like someone and you realize you like them too much, your way of flirting is a little bit mean. Or maybe your way of joking. Maybe you're a little bit cunty, is what they're saying. You're a little bit cunty. You know? Let's see. What are some things that people notice about them that they don't notice about themselves? We have screenshot here. Okay. So you could be someone that maybe posts like too much. Like people probably know everything you got going on based on social media. Or you could be somebody that you could spam. Like, you can really like social media a lot. Okay, people can feel like you should be on your phone a lot, probably more than what you should be. You could also be somebody that people feel like, what people notice about you is that you tend to like get down to the bottom things. So you could be one of those things to investigate. So like you always know the tea of things. So maybe you're up to date on celebrity gossip. You already know what's going on. Or you could be someone that maybe what people notice about you is that maybe you tell people business. Like maybe if you have an encounter with somebody, people know maybe you just talk too much is what I want people to say. People could feel like that your bottom jaw is made of water. You don't realize it, but you kind of tell your business and other people's business too. You talk too much. That's what people notice about you. You just kind of, your bottom jaw made of water. That's what it is. What do people notice about them that they don't notice about themselves? Yeah, you have a lot. Like I told you guys, you have a chip on your shoulder, right? Some people could also notice that you look a lot like someone that is passed on, and it's like it's uncanny how much you look like this person. Okay, but we have trauma here. Some of you guys, you're like I said, your childhood trauma, it shows a lot, and you have a lot of it. And I think that you ruminate about it. The past is a place of reference, not residence. And I think that you need to seek help from a professional. And when I say a professional, not a professional psychic or tarot reader or a spiritual advisor, a professional licensed therapist that can aid you in these things, because you are not no man is an island. You are not alone, and you cannot do this by yourself. You can thank yourself for taking care of yourself this thus far, but seek the help you need because you deserve it. You deserve someone who can invest in you, and you deserve another opinion. You know, grant yourself the space to consider a new way of healing and working on things and to loving yourself better. Okay, it just feels as though you have a lot of things you've been through, and you live in fear and paranoia that you're still in that realm and you're no longer there. Okay, tell me more about what people notice about them that they don't notice. What do people notice about them that they don't notice? Okay, you could be a little bit obsessive. Okay, when you like to be a little bit possessive, and that could be how your childhood trauma shows. You can have extreme abandonment issues. Okay, it says dangerous, toxic, unhealthy possessiveness and karmic. You could be the crazy ex. Okay, like sour, sweet gone, sour patch vibes. Like, I was sweet today, I found out you were cheating and eat my shit. That pie's made my poop. Or, you know, this is like reminding me of like when I found out I got cheated on, and I went to my ex's job and I threw a couple of ants in his face, and then I hid raw meat around his apartment. So if he was gonna be fucking somebody, they was gonna be fucking with some water bugs and roaches, because that bitch was gonna be stinking. It's like that side of me, like, you know, it's that type of, that era, you know, of me, that shadow aspect. You know, it's like, you know, like that. Like, people wouldn't assume that I'm like that, or like I can't get that way, but I have a mean streak. When I'm crossed, I'll be the last person you fucking cross. Believe me, guaranteed, I will be the last person you cross. You know, you could be someone that takes it the absolute furthest when you get disrespected on when you mad. Like, it's anxious, and you probably are patient with it too. You also are probably somebody that stalks their partners too. You probably look into things, and you probably like, or somebody that, you probably possess a partner that be like, you probably like, I don't know, you probably make relationships harder than what they need to be, and your relationships probably end prematurely, not because they don't love you or aren't attracted to you or don't want you, but because of the way you act. But it's due to childhood trauma. But people that are new into your life, they may not be aware of this, or they don't have to deal with it, you know. So you do need to get some therapy, is what I would like to say. And I say that with love, you know. Same shit, you know. What's the things people notice about them that they don't notice about themselves? Creeping. There's something about this. Some people could say that you're mischievous, but I'm more so getting like the energy surrounding, like you're just a little bit of a possessive like partner and lover, you know, and girl fight. Yeah. And maybe you're somebody, you're not an arguing type. You're a physical fighter. People notice about you, and you can fight. You can whoop some ass, and you're willing to, more than willing to. And I feel like your hands are bisexual too, meaning way to eat for everyone. We also have argument. Yeah, you can be competitive in general. Like, people can feel like you're in competition with them, and they're not, even when they're not trying to compete with you. You know, people can feel like like you can start fights with your mouth, but maybe naturally speaking, you could be. People can say that you're a little bit bitchy. People can say that sometimes you can, like, when you're, like, I feel like as sweet as you can be, you know, it feels like sometimes you can be a little bit cunty. When you're irritated, you could be a little bit like your bitch is really a bitch. Like you could be sweet, but when people piss you off, people tell you fucked up, your bitch is like extreme. People find out the hard way. I do not want to piss them off. Baby K got like I got Baby K fucked up. That's what I call my subscribers if you're new here. I got Baby K fucked the fuck up. Baby K is not playing with me. I don't know what the fuck ever made me think the funk that I could fuck with Baby K, because Baby K is not fucking around with my ass. That's what they're thinking. Okay? What is it that people notice about them that they don't notice about themselves? We have do not regret anything. Okay? You're very fearless, and I think that people love that about you. People love that you are someone that goes after everything that you want, even if it's scary. And you take a lot of risks, and they work out for you. People love it about you. Whether they work out for you or not, people admire the fact that you take risks, okay? And that you're a dreamer. People notice that about you. You're very courageous. People look at you as somebody with a lot of courage. So if you find yourself struggling with that, know that you are known for someone who has courage. That means you have done things that are hard. So anytime where you feel scared to do something, as long as it's not something that's scary, like dangerous, something like that can cause you harm, of course. Anytime you're scared to perform something, remember that you can do hard things and that you are known for overcoming things and going against the grain and being courageous. What is it that people notice about them that they don't notice about themselves? Better alone than in bad company. I feel like people notice about you that you don't notice about yourself is that the grass is always greener where you are. Okay? What you don't notice about yourself, the people notice about you is that when you leave, bad things happen to people, you know, and that when you walk away from people, it's for a reason. So people tend to notice, like, if you don't like somebody, people don't have to get to know that person to know they're not worth liking, for instance, because people know for a fact that, like, you're just naturally not worth the bullshit be, and you have a bullshit detector. And when you separate, they're the problem. People know that. Yeah, let's get out of our comfort zone. Yes, you're very fearless. And also, I think that what people notice about you is that you will have something like, you teach people, again, there's something about your body type may be very unique, but the way you dress it and adorn it, it makes people love their body type and look at the body type in a different way. So say that you're a plus size man or woman, the way you look, it makes people attracted to things that they may not have been attracted to that before. Okay, you maybe have a universal look about you that you're everybody's type, in spite, like, you might be black and somebody that might not even like black women or like black men might be attracted to you because you're just that beautiful. You just have that look about you, that je ne sais quoi, and also like you're so inspiring. Okay, you always are doing, like, you're someone that's willing to take a risk. Okay, you're a daredevil, so people know. And we also have, don't be fooled by my appearance, my soul is resplendent. I told you guys, you have, again, there's something about you. I feel like you have a resting bitch face. You could be mean, you could be a monster, you could be an asshole, but I feel like for a lot of times, for the most part, you're not. Point. Okay, I feel like for a lot of you guys, what you don't see about yourself is that you're a good person. And I think that a lot, like, you guys have a wound, maybe where you weren't validated, or maybe the only time you got attention is when you were being of service to somebody in your youth. So you're constantly trying to prove to people that you're a good person. The people notice it about you, and they want you to know that you're a good person. You don't have to try so hard to prove it. Or maybe you're somebody that was constantly told that nothing you did was ever good enough. Or maybe you was compared to somebody, a sibling that maybe didn't go as hard as you, but they were given more accolades. You're seen as somebody that trauma, it carries with you. Okay, if you were somebody that wasn't chosen in high school, you carry that trauma with you even in adulthood. Even though you fine as fuck and everybody wants you, you kind of act like that nerd that never got attention, still to this day. People notice that about you, and irregardless, you're so beautiful, so talented, so lovely. You're a great person, you just don't know it yet. Or you're constantly trying to prove people that you are. Maybe you do know it, but maybe you don't know that other people notice this about you. People know that you're a good person, you don't have to prove it. Okay, we also have no obligation to take advice from others. Again, people know, what people notice about you that you don't notice about yourself is that you have the answers within yourself. You're very wise, you're very intuitive. You're right about people the first time. You don't have to sit and wait. And also, people know that you don't need to take their advice. You don't need their help as well. You don't need their help, okay? People know that about you. You're very autonomous. And we also have spread the love. What people know about yourself that you don't know about yourself is that you're a very loving person. You're a very nurturing person. You're very uplifting. And you're a joy to be around, okay? You're absolutely a beautiful soul. And you just have no idea how much you touch people and impact people in a positive way. So with that being said, this will be a reading. I love you guys. To the moon, back in the right now. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
That was too good. Let's get the bell per.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.